LSU, Carolina, Auburn, Georgia, all good defenses. You've had the injuries. I think part of it is there's more film on tape, for Ty and for this offense and for Grubb, and good coordinators have probably taken advantage of that. Ryan Williams needs to catch the ball. Other players need to catch the ball. So I don't know if there's one single thing, but at the end of the day, I think it's still football is a quarterback game, and it does come down to your quarterback. I think your quarterback needs to make better decisions, needs to be more accurate, and if he's able to do that, it covers up some of the other questions that you might have in terms of injuries and the other players around him.
Speaking of quarterback, Mike, John Mateer has not been the John Mateer Oklahoma quarterback we thought we were going to get prior to the start of the season, post-hand injury. Schematically and how Kane Womack in this defense attacks that Oklahoma offense, I would think that this should be one of the easier games to prepare for as far as matchups.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably worried about less guys, across the board for them than other teams that you've faced, just because it's, their offense is really about Mateer and Satania. And when Satania's been on, this offense has moved the ball. He's had a good deal of pretty long catches. He had, I think, a 58-yarder against LSU, a 70-something yarder against Ole Miss, I think like an 80-yarder against Mizzou. It was really the Alabama game that Satania was shut down. And so if they're able to do that again and have Xavier Brown or Dijon Lee really shut him down, then there's not a whole lot else that you're worried about, weapon-wise for Oklahoma. I think what you would be worried about is Mateer running, just because that's probably what they're going to try to do. I think he's done more of that as the season's gone on and as he's gotten a little bit healthier. And again, if on a night where it's windy and you can't really throw the ball, how much of the quarterback run will they try? And at times that has gotten Alabama, this very game last year, Jackson Arnold. So that's probably what you're worried about after Satania. I think number 2 would be Mateer running the ball, but just overall, there's not a whole lot of skill players that really scare you on this Oklahoma offense.
I know we were talking about offense, getting some pieces back. Overton will not be playing tonight for the Alabama defense, but from the defensive side of things, how healthy are they considering where we are in the season, and what difference can they make tonight against Mateer, who you were just talking about?
Yeah, I mean, they're in pretty good shape in terms of even the guys who left the SEC championship game, and Justin Jefferson and Xavier Brown are both back. Like I said, Overton's out. You have the couple guys who have been out all year, in Latham and Beeman, but overall, it's a pretty healthy group. Obviously, Quay Rousseau has kind of worked his way back from his injury, wasn't playing a big role in the Iron Bowl or in the SEC championship game. Again, I think your corners are your strength of this defense. And like I said, the strength of Oklahoma in their offense is probably Satania. So that's where you feel good about the matchups. And you probably have some questions about the defensive line without Overton and how Jordan Renaud plays at that spot. Just how the front seven in general handles some of what Oklahoma might throw at you schematically. Especially with a 3-week layoff, and 2 of those weeks they know that you're facing facing Alabama in their case. So, what wrinkles do they kind of throw at you offensively that you're not expecting? Would be something to watch tonight. A shovel pass here or there, or a throwback or whatever the case may be. I think you got to be ready for some different stuff tonight from Oklahoma.
Given Oklahoma wins this game, what else will you and your media brethren be watching?
In terms of tonight, or what do you mean?
The next couple of days, everybody has said, well, if Kalen DeBoer loses, look out.
No, I got you. I got you. It's almost so ubiquitous now that it's like you see it everywhere. All these clips on First Take and, pardon the interruption, it's everywhere. But it's just, I think it's a game of telephone where one person says it, another person sees it or hears it on, a clip, and it just gets perpetuated. So, I mean, there's obviously an element of we're still going to be watching and seeing if anything happens over the weekend, but I don't think there's really any expectation on our part that anything will happen with DeBoer in Michigan. So again, it's one of those things where it's hard to talk in any definitive terms about anything anywhere in life. I don't think you can do it in this case and say there's 0 chance that anything will happen. No, we can't sit here and say that, but it seems highly unlikely that anything would happen. And beyond that, I don't really know what to say. We'll just have to see.
What's wild is this hypothetical scenario and what we're talking about. There's been more buzz about this nationally than there was Lane Kiffin in an actual meeting that was scheduled with his then athletics director, Keith Carter.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't put my finger on why exactly there's so much more discussion about this. I think part of it goes back to 2 years ago when, there was legitimate interest, if you will, between DeBoer and Michigan. And obviously the Alabama job opened at the same time, or right before, I guess, the Michigan job opened. So I think that kind of greased the skids in terms of the next time around with Michigan's job opening. But I don't know. I don't feel like Kalen DeBoer could have been more pointed in what he said. Obviously, his answer in the press conference wasn't as definitive as you would have liked to hear, but then he was asked again and did give the yes. So at the end of the day, it goes back to what I just said. I don't know. Like, we can assume whatever we want to assume. I think we can say that anything's unlikely, but in this world, you can't really talk in guarantees with anything. So we'll just have to see.
Help me understand this, and Landrum and I have talked about it numerous times during this week, this whole conversation about Michigan and Kalen DeBoer. And this is the part that I would love to get on one of the radio shows up there and kind of debate with them on this fact. They keep saying, well, if DeBoer doesn't sign a contract extension, that's going to be the sign that Alabama doesn't want him, and the crack is now open for Michigan to come in and offer him a contract. Well, he's got a contract at Alabama that runs through 2031, and he's getting paid a lot of money to be the head coach at Alabama. So, okay, let's say he signs an extension, because we've already seen that whether it's Eli Drinkowitz and his $5 million buyout, or Clark Lee, whatever his buyout is, that it's really not even worth the paper it's written on. So why is it they're putting so much faith on whether he signs an extension or Alabama offers him an extension, because he's already got a contract?
Right. It's a good question, because either way, it's not. I think an extension would, in theory, increase his buyout, because that's the one thing about this whole situation. It's been the case from the very start when he first signed with Alabama and his contract came out. His buyout has been very, very small.
Right.
For $4 million this year, it goes down to $3 million on January 1st. That's a small buyout, and you can only imagine that there's a reason behind that term being in his contract. And obviously, part of that, I'm sure, is CAA and Sexton and whatever agent exactly was involved in negotiating that particular deal. You want that term in there. It's all part of leverage, et cetera. But if you're Alabama and you're extending him, I think you would have to do so with the sense that you're going to up that buyout. And then at that point, it becomes more prohibitive for Michigan or another school to kind of swoop in. But yeah, I think it's okay to live in the middle. And I think it's okay for Alabama to say, we still want you. We're committed to you, as Greg Byrne did last week in a statement, but you don't have to go forward and make him, the highest paid coach in the country and give him that big extension. Like, it's okay to just say, we have a deal with you already. We don't need to do that extension. And if, in theory, for some reason, and this is pure speculation, if Kalen DeBoer says, I don't want to live in that space, and you go somewhere else, then that is what it is. Like, I don't think Alabama should be pressured into giving him an extension right now. Now, if you start winning games, you win this game, you win the Rose Bowl, then I think that really opens up the discussion of making you a higher paid coach. But in this very moment, especially if they lose this game, I don't see any reason why Alabama should be pressured into doing that.
Okay, and let's just play the game. Let's let Mike Rodak be a sports talk show host for a minute. Let's say DeBoer does bolt for Ann Arbor. Who's on the short list for Alabama?
Yeah, and we were talking about that over breakfast today. Like, all right, break glass in case of emergency. What would we be talking about? And I think you have to make the call to Nick Saban. Do you want to do it for a year? I think his answer would be no. I think you have to make the call to Kurt Signetti. I think you have to make the call to Steve Sarkisian. I think you have to make some of those aspirational calls, as Pete Thamel would call them. I think more realistically, at this stage in the game, you're probably looking more at like a Brent Key. You're looking at potentially making Kane Womack the coach at probably a lesser salary and kind of seeing where things go. There's other coaches that are probably a tier below that, you could, I think, more you can more afford, but also convinced to come to Alabama. So, yes, if that is the outcome of all of this, and we're all surprised and something happens, and I don't think there's anything wrong, in my particular opinion, of making Kane Womack the coach and just kind of seeing where it goes. I think Kane Womack's done a really good job. He has experience. I think he would keep most of your staff together. He would save some money in that regard. But it's also a lot of pressure, I think, on Byrne and on Kane Womack to make this look better next year. And if it doesn't, then I think you'd be in a more volatile spot.
Well, given an Alabama loss tonight, when do you just take pride and put it aside and make the call to minimals?
Yeah, no, that's another one. It's like, hey, you can't beat them. Join us.
Do you need more of a sample size?
Yeah.
What about someone like Glenn Schumann?
I feel like you want to go for somebody with head coaching experience,
Right?
Just because, again, it kind of goes back to who would be making that call and what position would they be in. Where, how many strikes at the plate, would you have, and do you want to kind of roll the dice on a guy that does not have head coaching experience? Now, Kane, obviously, you're talking about head coaching experience at a little bit of a lower level, a AAA level, as Nick Saban would say. So, does that count? Yes. I think ideally, if you could get Curt Cignetti to come here for however long he's going to coach, 5 years, like, that's a really good spot, because you're kind of in win now mode. And, with the portal and all that, it's kind of where you need to operate anyway.
Well, that former Tennessee head coach Jeremy Pruitt, according to your message boards, he's ready. He's ready to coach right now. Bring him down to T-Town.
That would be a big I don't say a big jump, but for him to get right back into an SEC head coaching job would be pretty interesting. I think he's primed to get like a defensive coordinator job somewhere, but a head coaching job would be a little bit big.
All right, we kind of went directly to the coach thing, but we need to circle back because it's our favorite time of the week in which we get Mike Rodak's prediction. And I was reading your story this morning, and you have an interesting take on the game tonight.
Yeah, well, I go back to last year, and I picked Alabama to lose to Georgia. I was wrong. I picked Alabama to beat Oklahoma. I was wrong. This year, I picked Alabama to lose to Georgia on the road. I was wrong. I picked Alabama to beat Oklahoma at home. I was wrong. And I picked Alabama to beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. I was wrong. So I'm 0 for 5 on picking Oklahoma and Georgia games the last 2 seasons. So take this all with a grain of salt, but I picked Oklahoma to win tonight. And it goes back to what Kalen DeBoer said this offseason. It was kind of a theme of the offseason. Don't just tell me, show me. And for me right now, what I've seen, what they've shown me, is not a team that's going to go on the road tonight and win a playoff game. Could I be wrong? Of course. But you have to show me. It's like what I've seen these past 6 weeks is just not at a level that I can feel comfortable picking them against an Oklahoma team that's still pretty good. And, well, we'll see. Like I said, I'm 0 for 5, and I could be 0 for 6 after tonight, but that's just where I'm at.
Well, everyone's fading Mike Rodak right now as we speak.
To new beginnings.
They're logging in. Well, Mike, listen, I think it's going to be a good game tonight. It's going to be a tight game, and enjoy the festivities there in Norman, Oklahoma, and we'll catch up with you very soon. Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
You too. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Mike Rodak from Bama 247 in Norman, Oklahoma. He likes Oklahoma tonight. So that's Wimp Sanderson and Mike Rodak liking Oklahoma.
So between Mike picking Oklahoma and me not attending the game, there is a 0% chance Alabama loses. I've never felt better about Alabama.
Even with his explanation, Mike still gets killed on the text line. It's amazing.
And Barrett picked Oklahoma. This is the trifecta.
If he picks Alabama, no. Every time you pick Alabama, they lose. Then he picks against Alabama, and someone throw Mike off a building. That's what the last text was.
All right, we'll get to more of your text messages and your phone calls. Next hour, we'll do Bet It or Forget It. Hey, Danny Cannell. He loves Alabama. He's coming on at 1 o'clock today. We'll get his CFP predictions, all that straight ahead on this Football Friday on Jocks. It is 11:25 on this Football Friday. One bowl game in action right now, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Is it 34-0 still, or did Western Michigan score again?
Last time I looked, it was 34-0. Yeah.
34-0. Lance Taylor, who played wide receiver as a walk-on, he's from right outside of Mobile, Alabama. Played at Alabama, got into coaching. He has led Western Michigan to a MAC championship, and he was the MAC Coach of the Year. And if I'm not mistaken, Landrum, there was some early talk, early,
Yes.
amongst some circles that he may be up for the UAB job. And, of course, Alex Mortensen was elevated to the head coach of the Blazers. But right now, his Broncos up 34-0 over Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State won 10 games this year. They're the Conference USA champions.
Yeah, Jerry Mack.
They knocked off Jacksonville State for the league title, but
Pat, my question is this. Do they go running clock second half in a bowl game?
I don't know. But, man, Kennesaw State, they have just I'm more concerned about the over being 42. Because I got Western Michigan in -3, and I got the over, and the over's 42.
I think you're fine.
I think you're
You
good
think
shape.
so?
Well,
I think so.
there's 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. Watch
I know,
this. They've
but-
already blocked a punt. They're probably about to block another one.
Pat's worried they're going to
Almost
win
blocked it.
41-0.
Listen, Molly and Conrad, they have seen me in these midday games get very emotional. Like we go off the air and then
Yeah, there was one a few weeks ago that was rough for Pat.
What if Kennesaw
Yeah.
State just doesn't come back out and it's a forfeit and then they take it off the board and we don't?
Oh,
oh, I'm sorry, it was the
Get
point
either
total was
one.
47, not 42.
Oh, yeah, you're in
So-
trouble now, Pat.
Well, you might be in trouble now.
Well, we
They're
need
going to call off the dogs in the second half.
I need to text Lance.
a lot of 622 and 623 blasts, my friend.
You better hope their true freshmen third stringers are really good
Yep.
and motivated.
If there's one thing Lance Taylor learned from Coach Saban, you don't run up the score on the opponent. You respect them. That's what you're going to get in the second half.
I hope they continue the onslaught.
I think that if they ran two different plays, Kennesaw State would still allow them to score.
How about Butch Jones and the Champions of Life team last night, beating Missouri State
Yep.
34-28? I'm happy for Butch.
I
Butch
am
is a
too.
nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
So they finished the season 7-6. Missouri State finished 7-6. Later on today will be Memphis and NC State. That is a 1:30 kickoff. That's the Gasparilla Bowl, as North Carolina State's a 3.5-point favorite. 56.5 is the point total. That will be one of the game that you guys will have to pick in an hour.
Which one?
I'm glad you.
Somebody's been prepared
Sorry.
for Bet It or Forget It.
Sorry, somebody had texted in that they're on the way to bring a gift to you.
To me?
Mhm.
Oh.
oh.
I believe it's our good friend Howie.
Oh.
They'll be here in
Oh.
14 minutes.
Oh. That's very nice, Howie.
Sorry, I was looking out for you.
Oh, okay.
What was the game you're
Appreciate
talking about?
that. I was talking about Memphis and NC State.
Memphis and NC State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're tied for the lead, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And better to forget it.
Yeah.
You and Molly.
Yep.
Let me pull up my old
Maybe.
spreadsheet.
Yep.
Yes, you guys are 41-39, and Conrad
Yeah.
39. Hey, you made a
You're
little.
not far.
You made a little bit of a.
Wait, what am I?
You're 39-41.
Oh, okay. I'm
You're
doing
2
better
games
than
back.
I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Conrad.
Well,
I got you.
Landrum went 0-5
I
the
got
last
you.
time.
I did.
See, here's my only problem is that if I want to play the smart game, right, which is picking the opposite of y'all to try to play catch up, I have a feeling I'm going to have to pick Oklahoma
Well,
to win.
here's what you know.
And
what,
I don't want to do that.
And what is the old adage in football? All prevent defense does is prevent you from winning.
You're right.
So I went prevent on our last picks with a couple of them just to try to cross out, and it did not go well.
Well, that's
Yeah.
like when I did that 2 weeks ago, I think I went 1-4 or
Yeah.
something. It was bad.
It did not
I
go
think
well.
I went 1-4.
New approach this week.
Yeah. Landrum went 0-5. You went 1-4, and Conrad went 2-3. So, see, Conrad, you picked up a little bit of.
I
job.
got you, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We're getting close.
Conrad, I was doing a little research last night, and I'm trying to find an angle for you in tonight's game, and I think I found one.
Barometric pressure.
Well, I looked there,
Okay.
and it's stable,
Mm.
so that's really not
Doesn't
going to
really
come.
help.
Not going to come and play tonight.
Yeah.
But the last 2 times that Alabama football has played on a Friday night, they have won.
Oh, okay. I like that.
They have not played a lot in their history on Friday night
Yeah,
or
it's been
on
a
a
minute.
Friday. There's been some Iron Bowls that's been played on
Mhm.
Black Friday,
Mhm.
But the last two times that Alabama has played on a Friday was It was December 31st, 2022 against Cincinnati in the Cotton
That was
Bowl.
a good one.
Yep, won 27-6. And then the year before that, they played January the 1st, 2021 against Notre Dame
That was a good one too.
in the college football playoff and won 31-14.
I like it.
So the last two times that they've played on a Friday night, they have won.
Also, both teams that were formerly coached by Brian Kelly.
That is correct.
Just kind of an interesting correlation there.
He did not coach Oklahoma in the past.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Okay, I feel better. Thank you.
See, I'm
great.
trying.
I feel great.
Did you guys know that Ed Harris went to Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
The actor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That was the coach in radio.
yeah. Oh,
Matter of fact, did you know that when
I'm
Oklahoma,
kidding.
their video coming into the SEC, Ed Harris was the narrator.
Oh, he's a great narrator.
Mm-hmm.
James Garner is also an OU alum.
I didn't know that Ed Harris coached Tua. You learn something new every day.
Ouch.
Ouch.
All right, we will get to your calls and your texts.
Oh, we
This
got
is
some text news.
some three-man front on this Friday. It's almost halftime in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Myrtle Beach Bowl. It is 34-0 Western Michigan against Kennesaw State. A little bit later on, it'll be Memphis taking on NC State. And, of course, tonight, the big one, Alabama and Norman, Oklahoma taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Whether it's basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, concrete repair, Alabama Professional Services, they got your back. You need to call them at 205-951-9717. Just go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. Whether it's that foundation repair, because those foundation problems can affect your home's safety, appearance, and the value, and will only get worse over time. So that's why you need to call now at 205-951-9717 and get something set up very soon, whether it's early part of next week or maybe right after the holidays, because they could take care of you with the foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, concrete repair, all of that. Been telling you about it for years, but APS, they're experts in their field, and they can design a plan specifically for your needs. So call them today, 205-951-9717.
Get your reaction, your interaction here on the show, 205-834-9450 on the text line, 800-239-WJOX on the phone line. Sonny has been patient. Hey, Sonny, how are you?
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, me and my friends are sitting around talking. What we can't understand, how does Alabama get this reputation of being tough on coaches? I mean, when Alabama's gotten itself in trouble in the past, it's hired coaches they shouldn't have hired and kept them too long. Whether it be Mike Shula or the both. But the national media is painting us as this lunatic fan base who's opining about the old days under Nick Saban.
You know, that's a good point, Sonny, because it's been a very long time. It was probably late 90s, early 2000s since the last time something like that came up. But, yeah, I don't know where they're getting the narrative.
And the thing about Nick Saban is that if Kalen DeBoer wins tonight, he will have won as many playoff games as Nick Saban did his last 3 seasons.
That is true. That is correct.
Last playoff win with Nick Saban was against Cincinnati in 21. I mean, it wasn't like Saban left winning back-to-back national championships.
That is a true statement.
Last thing is, what have we done to make Kalen DeBoer feel uncomfortable?
Based on the information that I have, they have made him extremely comfortable. They've given him one of the highest paid contracts in college football. They have done everything that he needed and wanted to do. Now, they might not have the deepest pockets as a Texas A&M, or a Michigan, but Alabama has done everything possible. I mean, Alabama, there was a stat that came out, Sonny, 2 days ago, that of all the teams in the college football playoff, Alabama has spent more money on their football program than any other team that's in the college football playoff, and that includes Texas A&M.
I mean, the games, the fans haven't booed him. Matter of fact, I go to the games. You make the argument the best atmosphere at Bryant-Denny Stadium has been the couple seasons Kalen DeBoer's been here. So, we were just sitting around. I just don't know where this reputation is coming from that we're hard on coaches.
Well, I think one thing that the media in Michigan, what they are saying is they believe, because they're Michigan, they believe that they can say and they can bat their eyelashes at, obviously at a coach at Alabama, and Michigan's a better job. I think I think that's where they're coming from, just because they're arrogant. That's where it's coming from.
If he goes to Michigan and he loses a couple of years in a row to Ohio State, what's going to happen to him?
No, they'll fire him.
So that's the reason I don't understand this. Why he's leaving Alabama because of the pressure and going to Michigan to try to relieve the pressure. At Alabama, okay, you got to make the playoffs, win a national championship, and beat your rival Auburn. At Michigan, you got to make the playoffs, win a national championship, and you got to beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would you rather be, beating Auburn, no offense to Auburn, or having to beat Ohio State?
Well, also the fact that you have no idea who is going to be the athletics director at Michigan. I mean, that thing is imploding as we speak. Trey Wallace from Outkick told us just a couple of days ago that this thing is going to get uglier and nastier with their investigation into that athletic department. If you're Kalen DeBoer and the kind of personality that he has, do you think he wants to walk into that?
No, and don't laugh, but also don't forget who Michigan State just hired.
Yeah. That's a game changer. And Nick Fitzgerald.
He's going to get it done.
Pat Fitzgerald, sorry.
But you all would agree that the fans hadn't done anything to make him or his family feel uncomfortable here?
To my knowledge,
Not that we
no.
know of, no.
I mean, at this time a year ago, Ryan, they literally had to hire private security around his home.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Yep.
But we're the crazy ones, man. But anyway.
Hey, Sonny.
Sonny, thank you.
Thank you for the call. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas. We appreciate it. All right.
He's right.
Yeah.
I mean, when I've done these shows nationally,
It's
and they bring this
pressure.
up, and it's like, I talk to people in Tuscaloosa almost on a daily basis. I don't know where this is coming from, where you think that Alabama fans are throwing bricks through his windows.
Let's go to Patrick. He's in Birmingham. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, man, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
I want to chime in on this, too. Pat said it a minute ago. I don't know anyone in Tuscaloosa that has any authority whatsoever that is the least bit down on our coach.
Mm-mm.
And now, what I call the sidewalk alumni that get on, Feinbaum and some of these shows. And,
Sure.
Even till 2 or 3 weeks ago, Legend was still talking negatively about DeBoer. But I've yet to meet, and I know somebody will prove me wrong, but I've yet to meet somebody who went to Alabama, like I did, and that's saying anything negative about him. This is the very best coach we can have right now. His MO is that he takes less and beats teams with more. We can't compete NIL-wise with some of these other schools. He's doing a heck of a job. He's back in the playoffs, and frankly, we were 2 or 3 plays last year away from being in the playoffs too.
And not to mention the fact that they've recruited at a very high level. That has not dropped off one bit. Because remember, that was the thing that everyone was scared about with a West Coast guy coming to Tuscaloosa. What do they know about recruiting? They're going to come in here and recruiting is going to be awful. Well, look what they just signed.
Exactly. And if you spend any time around Coach, when there's no cameras and microphones, he's the nicest guy in the world. And he'll engage you on anything, whatever, if you want to small talk or whatever. He's just such a great guy. Brian Kelly was a bad fit. DeBoer, not a bad fit. He's a good fit for us. We really appreciate him, the ones that matter, the ones that pay the money to go to school or go to the ball games and stuff like that. But it's the cheap seats that always yell the loudest. And that's where, these guys that, get their, Alabama gear from Walmart and think that they're, something. They've never been to a game in 5 or 10 years. They're the ones, whenever something bad happens, wants to turn the page. But the alumni that I know of, and that's a vast number of people, never wanted him gone.
Thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it. Some really good points.
Yep.
Just saw a live shot and a report from Norman, Oklahoma, and it is a blustery day out there.
A windy day.
Yeah. Seeing that Jam Miller's going to wear the innovative brace.
Mm-hmm. Cuevas expected to play.
Yep.
That's all according to Holly Rowe, who will be on the sideline as Kirk Herbstreit made his way from Seattle, Washington to Norman, Oklahoma, and Chris Fowler will be on the call.
That's right. All right, we continue here on Three Man Front. More of your phone calls, and where is the sharp money going this NFL and college football weekend? We'll find out next. 11:47 game day edition of Three-Man Front continues. Alabama, Oklahoma coming up tonight. We got bowl action going on right now. And if you're a Kennesaw State Owl fan, turn away. Earmuffs. Western Michigan 34-0 at the half as they play that one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or Conway, South Carolina. It's on Coastal Carolina's field. You get it. JR, our buddy from TakingVegas.com, he is on a crazy, crazy hot streak here on the air. I think it's 5 free picks in a row out of the NFL that he has hit. JR, how are you? Happy Football Friday.
Happy Football Friday, Landrum. And, red hot, 12-4 here on air. I hope everyone took advantage of the Buffalo Bills. I know everyone was cursing me at halftime and very nervous about that pick. But obviously, look, this Buffalo team over, I think it's the last 5 or 6 weeks, are plus 117 points. And I can be conservative on that number as far as what they're doing in the second half. Talk about a team that really makes the right adjustments at halftime and comes out and lambastes their opponents in the second half of ball games. But look, there's a big game happening. I don't think I need to tell you guys. Alabama, Oklahoma, number 11 against number 8. Point spread, Oklahoma, obviously minus 1.5 in this matchup. I'm giving this to you for free. This is a gift, guys. I love the game. Do not bet this game without my opinion. You get it for free on a recorded line. No credit card needed, no obligation to anything. You simply call, listen, and win. Call the number 888-994-WIN now. That's 888-994-6669. You dial that number. Alabama, Oklahoma is on the recorded line for free. You get it now when you call 888-994-6669.
Before we get into the free picks and diving in more on this matchup that we get tonight, prediction markets. That has been in the news in the sports world here in the last couple of days. We haven't gotten into it too much just because of what's riding on tonight and a lot of people wanting to talk about this game. But as far as prediction markets, maybe the future of college football, what are we looking at, JR?
You know what?
What are we looking at, JR?
You know what? Multiple TVs, but I've always networks, right? I'm watching CNBC. So I follow every day now, story after story after story about these $1 trillion in an insane number, right? And now talking about what we here on your show, Landrum, and that is as an investment. Now, does that mean betting account? Of course not. Market, and rather than options or so way more risky, and put it where you're in more control and you can really handle. And look, great strategy is the name of the game. That is what we are going to give you. Not only the games that win more than they lose, but phenomenal strategy to show you how to do this at a really, really high level. So look, the prediction markets are getting red hot. We know all about them. If you guys are serious about wanting to do this and you want to make money doing it, well, look no further. I'm going to start you off with the big winner on tonight's game. You get this one for free. Again, Alabama, Oklahoma. Point spread winner on the recorded line right now for free. 888-994-6669. That spells out 888-9-WIN-NOW.
What do you think the biggest takeaway will be? Not even specific to a game. If you want to go there, that's fine. But after this initial round of college football playoff games transpire into tomorrow night, what do you think our reaction will be as college football fans?
Well, I mean, first off, I think that they're adapting, right? There's a lot going on in college football right now, especially with the NIL. There's going to be more parity in college football than we ever dreamed of. It always was that, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, the same teams were always constantly at the very top. And now, I believe the number, I could be wrong on the number, but it's somewhere close. It's either 24 or 32 five-star recruits that are coming out of high school this year, which years past, we know that those 24 guys would be split up amongst maybe 4 or 5 schools. Alabama would have 4 of them sitting on the bench waiting to play. Now, those 24 guys are going to 18 schools. That's unprecedented. It's being spread out everywhere. We're going to see teams that were, no names that are now going to be at the top of college football. And I think that as fans, kind of gives us a little more doubt upon ourselves about figuring out, which team it's going to be at the top. But at the same time, I think it's going to make it more interesting, a lot more fun, and a lot more competitive.
All right, JR, let's get to that free pick. You have been on fire. 12-4 here on the air. You've won your last 5 in a row. You are going NFL as you typically do. Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers.
I am. And you know what? For me, this is about as easy as they come. This Panthers team is, yes, they're 7-7 on paper, but I use the word fugazi, and I think you guys know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke and mirrors, right? This is a team that has played better than they should in some situations, but also they're just not that 7-7 team. They're at home. There's a reason they're getting 3 points. And look, this Buccaneers team has been just battered, absolutely battered with health all season long. They finally got back to full strength last week, and now they're going on the road, and it's a really good opportunity for them to at least lay a little bit of a foundation for the next 3 games. I don't think they just win this game. Landrum, I think they absolutely taste Carolina. That 3 points is a gift. I expect them to win this game by at least 2 touchdowns or more.
All right, so once again, you're picking that game. You like the Bucs?
I love the Bucs. Lay the 3 points. Don't look back. Do it now because that line will go to 3.5 by game day. So you want to lock that in while it's still -3. Yes, get all over the Buccaneers.
All right, one more time on a game that you love tonight in Norman, Oklahoma, Alabama, Oklahoma.
I'm going to say this to everybody listening. You guys know I've been on the station for a very long time. I've come through time and time again. I'm letting you guys know that it's not just a marketing ploy. I love the game tonight. I really, truly do. I want you on the right side. This is my gift to everybody in Alabama. We're not going to be doing the call-in next week with the holiday and all. So let me give you this parting gift before the holiday. It's going to be the winner of the Alabama-Oklahoma game. It is free on the recorded line. The number again, 888-994-6669. You don't need a credit card to get it. There is no obligation to get it. You just get the game on the recorded line for free. 888-994-6669. One more time, that's 888-9-WIN-NOW. As always, guys, be safe, have fun. Let's go out there and have a great holiday season.
JR, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family. We'll talk to you soon.
To you, man. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks.
Thank you so much. JR, once again, the free pick, loves Tampa Bay. Get it right now, -3 over the Carolina Panthers. Don't forget, 888-9-WIN-NOW. Your phone calls, your text in the 12 o'clock hour.